Hello. Good evening, and welcome to. Don't stop streaming. There we are. No, good Sunday so far. We well, had a nice lunch at a Chinese restaurant, which is very nice. Let's move this around a little bit. So this is the end of the. Well, we're continuing on Operation. I have to rotate this around a little bit. Yes, and then went for a walk. It's all very pleasant. And then played chess against the wife, and then may as well carry on with Arnhem. I'm recording the film downstairs, which starts now in 5 action in 2 parts. So watch out. There is the news. Now the bridge. There's the bridge. Exactly. Exactly. That's the spirit. Right. So without any further ado, let's now switch on to this scene. It's all very, very modern, and let's work out where the hell anything is. Let's move the bridge up here. There we are. Because it's a bit too far, the bridge. And let's have the other thing we want. So I never get anything done in time. Which is the existing slideshow. That one. Here. Yeah, but can I have it? No. Behind things. Thank you. Jesus. Click on the thing. Right. Move you. Make you actually fit on the screen. There. You could go behind here. Out of the way. There we are. Right, let's go on with the game. Hello, Source of Rain. We are continuing on with Operation Market Garden. This is where we paused at the end of last week. I'm going to press another key to continue. British phase. So here's the issue. We can cross the bridge here, but we have to make ourselves small. If we make ourselves small, then we will take double damage from the Germans. This is a bad thing. I don't want to do that. Now I think I can get around them another way. So I'll try that instead. I'm going to retreat up the road this way and cross the bridge up here. And these guys can take out the Germans, hopefully. And then we can cross the bridge up the top and get around them. The Grenadier Guards are going to carry on the road, eating a biscuit. So are the Coldstream Guards. Actually, they're going. No, they're down there. Again, they can't cross the bridge because there are Germans in the way, and they can't cross the river unless they can use the bridge. So they're going to go back to the road. It's a bit of a problem. These guys can cross the river, so they're going to carry on the road anyway. The Welsh Guards are going to go around and get around the Germans that way. Now, these boys aren't very big, so they're going to carry on pushing forwards out of the way. We need to get into Eindhoven, really. We need to protect our flanks, so let's dig in the Royals. So everyone's just pushing forward. Eat chomp, chomp, chomp. If we get rid of that, the west of Eindhoven, we can then cross that bridge and then hook around and catch his mate unaware. That's my big plan. Oh, that's nice. Vitamin drink. He ran away slightly, which is a good thing. Units can only attack once per turn. There are 3 phases per turn. So this is phase 1. So the other tank should be able to attack as well. So how are things going over in Arnhem? Not so good. Now, these troops here can retreat, which might be an idea. Because we're up against the wall. They can retreat over. They can cross the river the wrong way, whereupon they'll be safe from the baddies. And I'm thinking if I get a chance, I'm going to do that. Because we're up against artillery and tanks, and we're greatly outnumbered. And we can then cross again later. Hopefully. So as it stands, we're going to get slaughtered. So the British are the yellow and green units, a bit hard to see. The Germans are the black and green units, so they're now in camouflage, which is an underhanded German trick. The Americans are in blue and green. Phase 2 of the afternoon is the non-motorised term, which also includes reconnaissance units. So you'll see them moving in all 3 phases. Now, back over to the right. So you scroll along the map. We're now going back to the north. This is now going to be Arnhem. And I'm thinking, we don't want to be here anymore. We're taking casualties. It's not going very well. Actually, what I'm going to do is attack the artillery. But everyone else... Indeed! I'll put the colour... I'll make the colours nice just for you, Jim, so you can see my full, glorious... There we are. That's better, isn't it? See, I'm in cosplay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to retreat. Now, retreating over a major river, and this is the Lower Rhine, which is very big. We can cross it, though. Which is a good thing, so we're going to do that. And come back later. Which will probably get everyone very cross with me, but I'm going for the lives of my men. So, I've got 2 badges. Well, look, 2 badges. You see, attention to detail there. So this is the Polish Parachute Brigade, Gene Hackman. That's on now. Hope you're recording it. I'm definitely recording it. It's in 2 parts, so split with the news. They caught me out last week. They can't catch me out twice, bastards. That's on 5 action. Once we're over the bridge, the German tanks can't follow us unless they cross the bridge. Now, how are these boys doing? These boys are doing okay. So we're going to go into the attack. These are the Americans now, who are in the American phase 2. Bless them. Protecting this bridge. They're all running up and down the road between Grave and Bagel. And these boys are half strength, so they are going to stay where they are and have a bit of a rest. These guys are in full strength, so they're going to go into the attack. So, keep them on the run. These guys are not in a good shape, so they're going to pull back. Oh, absolutely. I've just finished reading a book about the Battle of Verdun, and then finished reading Flowers for Mrs. Harris, which is much lovelier. Oh, I've got artillery now. I've got airdropped artillery, so I can press B and bombard Jerry. He won't like that very much, will Jerry? Because this one you get artillery. In Vulcan you get airstrikes. But in Desert Rats you get nothing at all. Here these American paratroopers are attacking German infantry. Because they're holding this bridge, so we can't get across it with our little tanks. This is a rum-do. This is a rum-do. Again, we've got artillery, because this is air-dropped artillery. It's got a shorter range. So I've just about hit these guys. Just. This is phase 2, the non-motorised phase. Let's move this picture. Where had the picture gone? See? Note we have a spinning bridge as well. It's all go. It's all go. Well, that's a bit too wide. That's the whole map, by the way. Very, very long map. So remember, we can't cross a bridge with tanks unless we've got both sides controlled. Beautiful sound, that. British Allied artillery. That's what you want. If you're on the defensive, you don't cause any damage to the enemy, so you must attack as well. So it's tricky. But I think we've got Nijmegen controlled. Except they're now next to our artillery, which is a bad thing. And it's not motorised either. Black border, that means it's the baddies go. So I think it all ended about this time in 1944. That's not going well, is it? That's not going well in Arnhem. There's an Overlord game, but it's not by R.T. Smith, it's by Ken Wright, and I don't like his system as much. It's a bit more, well, it's a bit less controlled. Sort of vaguely, you have a core. It's more core based. So here's a core. Where are they going then? They don't go where you want them to, which is frustrating. Right, this is now phase 3, so I'm going to send these boys who haven't attacked yet to the west. Remember, west is up. He's already attacked. But he can certainly move around, though. Get ready for the next turn. This is the third phase of the British move. Now, the Germans there have changed their position. So I'm going to try and get across this bridge quickly. There's a bit of a traffic jam because you can only have 2 battalions in the same square. Or you can never have 2 brigades in the same square. So, you do get jammed up. That's to stop him going back towards the bridge. Keep pushing forwards. We're going to stay where we are in case they send any troops up. So there's a massive, massive roadblock here. Trying to get over the bridge. Because bridges are important. Tanks can only cross even small rivers at the bridges. And the only thing that cross large rivers, apart from bridges, are the parachute or glider troops. Very true, Paul. Very true. But they're holding us up. It's not a good thing. I had to go at the introductory scenario, the advanced Eindhoven. I did goes at that. I couldn't win that either. Because of that, you can do quite well, but not fast enough. Because you really have to, get over the bridges very quickly. Otherwise, they come in from the sides, and then you're stuffed. So phase 3 is the second motorised area. That's the Germans. And now we go on to night time of the first. So, notice, good news, people. The Germans at the top, they've gone. So we can get over that bridge. We get to move 4 spaces, which is nice. Now, motorised infantry can cross small rivers, which is good. We're going to change our orders, and we're going to travel up this road, not back again. We're not the Golden Girls. We're going to cross this bridge, and then we can make ourselves large and in charge. We're going to change our orders. When you travel, you go at 2.5 times speed. Indeed. Then go for a snap. Go for a snoozle. But obviously you're much more vulnerable. So here we want you to 1, 2, Get to that bridge. Right. I had mentioned when the British units are flashing, because they're a bit hard to see. We're going to get over this bridge up the top. I'm going to change your orders. So we're all over the place. It's traffic jam city. Oh, we got more units. We now got the 240th Infantry Brigade, or the 43rd Infantry Division. And that's a big unit. They are high morale, and they're strong. So we're going to send them, as fast as we can, north. That's the first bridge. And here's Eindhoven, where we have our traffic jam. Hopefully by the time they get here, we'll have cleared these Germans here. Son. Then got on to Vagel. And once you get beyond Son, we're then getting to Grave quite easily. We all control this. And then we're pretty much into Eindhoven. But it's the bridge at Son is the issue. So we need to get over it and get it sorted. You're going to change and attack the Germans. So we need to drive them out. You're going to guard our flanks. You're a tank. This is a tank destroyer, so it looks a bit like a tank, but it's just got a very big gun instead. So it's not actually a tank, but it looks a bit like a tank. The Germans have them at all. They're called Sturmgeschützes or Stugs. And we're going to bombard this guy. Hopefully, he'll go out of the way. We'll get over this bridge, and then we can get rid of Jerry and his pacemakers. Oh, that's gunfire. Now the baddies are moving. So that's bad. This is them attacking us, which is unfair. They shouldn't be allowed. Should be a law against it. So we're trying to cross the Rhine going the wrong way. And they've wiped out 2 Polish parachute battalions. This is a bad thing. And they're sticking up again. They're attacking the Poles at the bottom. Poles count as British with these colours, but that's a Polish 3rd. I think it's the 3rd Battalion. But Eindhoven's going well. We've got our tanks over the river there. They're pushing forward. We're going to attack these guys in Eindhoven. Something's flashing, Lord. Kumbaya. You keep pushing. You're going to stay. The reason he's staying here is in case they can't come up this road. Yeah, there was a lot of street fighting. In Arnhem especially, but also in Nijmegen. Obviously, and then after that, then there was the whole famine thing, because the Germans basically stopped sending food into the Netherlands, which was really quite horrible. Lots of people died. It was terrible. Because although they got to the Rhine at Arnhem, they couldn't cross the Rhine at Arnhem, therefore you couldn't go any further. So there were bits of it were successful, bits of it were successful, but the operation as a whole was not successful because they didn't capture the Rhine crossings, which is what you needed. I think they wanted to have Audrey Hepburn in the film, and then she declined because she was actually involved. Or she was there, not involved. She was there at the time. She, I think she was living just outside Arnhem or Osterbeek or something. So always have her for the film, which is no, thank you. Which you can understand. So these guys are, I think they're going to, they need to protect the town. These are the Americans. We've got reinforcements coming, which is good. So he's going to travel and help out the guys at Nijmegen. This is going reasonably well. You're resting up. And you guys are doing all right, but you don't. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I know. Apparently, Connery kicked off, but when he found out how much money Redford was getting paid, he wasn't happy at all. Which you can understand, because Redford was getting a lot more money than everyone else, because Redford's a big star. So what we're trying to do here is the Germans control both ends of the bridge at Arnhem. This means they can send tanks across. That is a bad thing. We don't want that. However, this guy is a bit run down. He's going to dig in for now and get reinforced. I want you to retreat. So I don't want you in combat. Artillery is not good at close range combat. So they're going to retreat a little bit towards the bridge. But artillery are excellent at shooting people, especially tanks. So we're doing all right against these guys. We're driving them back. We need to make sure he's retreated, so he's going to move up the road. We're going to keep pushing forward, and we want to get the British over the bridge now. And get off the road. Getting off the road, so we could attack him, but he can't cross the bridge, and he's about to get a British tanks up the wazoo. And we're going to shell Jerry again. So this is phase 2 of the turn, which is basically foot soldiers and artillery. And Recce. Recce can move 3 times. Recce's very fast. Artillery does actual damage and also makes them more susceptible to damage from everyone else. So it softens them up. So as I've now moved around to the other bridge, we've now cleared the first bridge, which is a bit of an issue. I'm not sure what that unit is, but I don't like the look of it. Because he controls the bridge. But we've got some of our troops up at the top. They're over and they're clear now. So they're in safety. And we've wiped out a German. This is a good thing. Because they're baddies. They work for Hitler. He's a wrong one. So it's now the night of the 20th of September. Move the mouse. It's important to move the mouse. So those are glider troops. They're still crossing the river. And that is German infantry attacking our American paratroops. And doing some damage. They're in the woods. He says slightly... And they're attacking our paratroops. But they're away from both bridges, which is what we want. So now, we can send the 2nd Battalion Irish Guards. Change size, make them... Actually, they're going to travel... up the road. Everyone gets across the road as far as they can. It's a good plan. Get across that bridge. Something's flashing. Right, you're going to change size. Make yourself big. I'm going to attack. You're flashing and quite small. You're pushing forwards. Again, you can cross the river on your own, but it's a bit slow. Get across this river. You've already got... I need to put the lights on so I barely see the keyboard. But you are going to shell these Germans here. This is a very small flashing unit. One moment, I need to put the lights on. So I can now see the keyboard. So we are moving forwards, which is a good thing. Get up this road, fast as we can. We have tanks. Tanks for the memories, as we say. Now the Americans will keep those guys in check. We're going to send our tanks up very far. And there's some Germans there. They might be trying to cause trouble. This is Grave. You've already got units. Very small. You're going to move up because we control the road. Now, I'm a bit worried about that German unit there. Because he can get in between this road here and cause us trouble. And we don't want them causing trouble. So we need to get some troops up there. Maybe leave some Americans hanging about. That's our glorious artillery, which is the goodies. And he's retreated a bit, which is good. He's out of our hair. Keep him away from the bridges is our goal. And keep our people moving. Remember? Tanks can only cross rivers at bridges. It's important. I think artillery has the same problem as well. So we've got to keep an eye out for baddies. Morning is broken, like the first morning. So I'm going to attack him with the 2nd Battalion of the Irish Guards tanks. Everyone else, I want to keep going forward as fast as we can. Right, this is the Coldstream Guards. They're going to get the Germans in Eindhoven, hopefully. Something's flashing. Or they've already got orders. So they're going to keep going, hopefully. Keep these guys keep moving forwards. Attack these Germans here. Something's flashing, Lord. Oh, there we go. He keeps pushing forwards. These guys are too close to my bridge. Oh, more chums. Another infantry brigade. So you got reinforcements. The good thing is, unlike Vulcan and Desert Rats, you don't have to worry about headquarters. So all units are pretty much in supply wherever they are, seemingly. Which is a good thing. And all you have to focus on is push them up the road as fast as you can. So these are the various parts of the 43rd Infantry Division. Again, they're at the wrong end of the map. What can you do apart from just keep scrolling to the right? Scrolling works quite well. The map is one. No, it's over one screen high. There's many screens wide. And he starts in a swamp, which is never good for moving. He's still got mortars, so this is the phase 1. You're staying put just in case. You're already travelling. You're going to shell these guys in Eindhoven, which isn't ideal, but you're already travelling up towards Nijmegen. But we need to keep our roads clear. Your tank against infantry, it should hopefully clear them out. Artillery, big guns. Fresh down from the attic. That's for the recce unit, which is a bit shit. Oh, that was a tank. Disappointing. That's better. That's a tank. Right, we got rid of him. Oh, we've lost our recce unit. That's bad. But we pushed back the unit into the river. This is the German motorised unit, which could be the bloke in the river. Other ones are available. You get 4 movement points, but most terrain is difficult. Woods aren't difficult for motorised infantry, but everything else usually is there. I reckon those are German panzers there, guarding the bridge. Which is a bad thing for us. He's getting closer to our bridges. Excellent. So we're keeping moving forward as fast as we can. This is now phase 2, which is infantry and recce units. So we've already attacked. So there's no point us attacking again. I think we've got a traffic jam here. I'm going to change this boat's orders. I don't care about reconnaissance units much. So to get him out of the way... Here we are. Now we get to move our paratroopers. This is the 156th Battalion of the 4th Parachute Brigade of the 1st Airborne Division. And we've managed to get over the river. This is a good thing. The 1st Battalion of the Borderers are strength 4. They started out at strength 50. So they're going to retreat into the swamps. These guys are not doing well at all, but being here is good for us because we're hanging about and they've got to keep an eye on us. Now the Polish Parachute Brigade again are getting attacked, so we're going to retreat a little bit and go and help the Americans out. It's our cunning plan. Concentrate our efforts, because then we've got more American troops coming. Oh, we've got more soldiers coming. This is good news. So where can we put these guys? So as I say, there are lots and lots of Germans over here. I can put them over here actually. They want to reinforce the Americans. We're not doing that. We're reinforcing the British over in Arnhem. And so hopefully get them to send some of their troops out of the city. There's a glider troop landing. Oh, hello there, 1 credit, Ben. We're sending in glider troops. We've had to retreat from Arnhem, so we're now putting in a cunning double bluff by sending in gliders round the back. Which is a good thing. So the yellow units are British. The blue are American and the green are the baddies. Oh yeah, don't go about the lockup. Obersturmführer Chisholm will get you. So again, we've got more. This is pretty sure this is a British glider regiment. Again, reinforcements. We don't need them here. We do need them though. Actually, I think I'll need them. I'll need them here. I think because Germans coming up from the bottom. Oh, hello. Ah, these are moving now. Not. So what we're doing here is now sending troops over the river. So we're reinforcing the Americans in Nijmegen. They managed to hold out. The British and the Poles have retreated from Arnhem back over the river. And we believe there's a German panzer unit on the bridge. This is a bad thing. However, we're doing all right against them in Nijmegen and everywhere else, really. It's just we've had issues, obviously, at Arnhem. Excuse me. So he's already retreated. So he's going to dig in case they send panzers up the road. Oh, we're going to go into the woods instantly, which is better terrain. And hopefully they'll get lured out. We have artillery. Artillery is a big gun, like this. And this means we get to shell people. So drop them on the floor. And unfortunately, airborne artillery only has a range of 6 because obviously it's not as big. So I can cancel that and then move him instead. Absolutely, yes. It was going quite well for a very short period when we captured Arnhem, and then the Germans sent tanks in, which is cheating. Sort of thing that when we allow, so you're not allowed tanks in MMA. One Credit Ben knows all about that. If you get a bloke rocking up at some cage match in a Panzer, red card straight away, red card. So we're now doing quite well here, but we need to get these guys to do some good. So again, everyone, get in your little trucks and get up the road and get out of the way, because you can't pass through lots and lots of units. So be very careful what you're doing. Otherwise, everyone gets in each other's way, and Monty gets very upset. So this is a tank called Grave. So we've got the soldiers to win, but it's in the wrong places. I don't think Telly's in this one. You've got Anthony Hopkins. You've got Michael Caine. Edward Fox. Dirk Bogarde. Gene Hackman. Sean Connery. Who else you got in it? Oh, Robert Redford as well. Oh, and Elliot Gould. So, yeah, all-star cast. But I don't think got Telly Savalas. Although to be fair, he'd probably have to have a video about Arnhem, wouldn't he? Saying that, how he loves walking around Arnhem and other Dutch towns. Oh, Telly, he's a character. So here we've got a brand new unit coming in, and we're going to send him down here to keep an eye on these Germans because they're up to no good. The light blue squiggles are polders, or in our case, well, may as well call them swamps. The blue lines are rivers. The thick blue lines are major rivers. Rivers can only be crossed by tanks at bridges. Major rivers can only be crossed by everyone at bridges, apart from paratroopers and glider troops, because they can just cross major rivers if they feel like. Although they don't find it easy. And we've wiped out those Germans there, which is a good thing, because they're baddies. I'm recording the film now. It's in 2 parts, annoyingly. This like last week. I tucked it last week. I only got the first half. Not the bit after the news, which annoyed me. But this time I've got both parts. It's about 3 hours long. I'm looking forward to watching it. We went to see at the... What have we just seen? Yesterday at the cinema I saw Ticket to Paradise. I think a nice romantic film. Nice romantic film. I also just read a book about the Battle of Verdun, which wasn't romantic. Although General Petain was a bit of a shagger, which is a bit of a surprising. He got summoned to the front to help save Verdun. Where is he? Oh, he's in some railway hotel with some random woman, sort of thing. But that's France for you. So the yellow and green are the British. You can play black and white mode, in which case the British and the Americans are the same colour, which is blue and green. Yellow and green is not a very high contrast. Oh, they've cheated again. The Germans have brought in some reinforcements. This is cheating. We don't like cheating. So I'm going to send the 2nd Battalion of the Irish Guards up to protect the road. Because someone up here is causing trouble. And we don't like that. Fortunately, we've got some troops here to help out. So this is phase 3, which is motorised. So I get my tanks back over the river. Everyone's currently moving in some fashion. The Welsh Guards can move a little bit. The field artillery of the Guards can shell these Germans who are cheating. And this artillery, I think, can get back on the road. We've got more troops coming up from the south. Up the highway. Cool wind in their hair. Too many units in Eindhoven. Not enough in Arnhem. So the map you can see here, it's very, very wide. You go to Arnhem, so Eindhoven first. We've cleared the road past Eindhoven. This is Vagel, which is not marked on the map. Then you've got Grave. After Grave, you've got Nijmegen. And after Nijmegen, it's a very short hop to Arnhem, which is as far as they got. They got as far as Nijmegen, but not as far as Arnhem. Where are we? Something's flashing. You can keep going. Because when the very small units are on the map and they're flashing, it's really hard to find them. So, we tell our units to travel, which means they go on the road. They go small on the road. And they go a lot faster. But you have to watch out that Germans don't come sneaking up down side roads. Because they're sods for that. So that's why we protect our flanks. I think Monty wanted to do a big push towards Berlin. And then they said you can't do that on your own because you'll be a really long, thin line, 500 miles long, with lots of troops guarding your supply lines. It would just be stupid. Silly Monty. Oh, vitamin drink. I've been to Monty's Caravan. That was quite good. I think that's in Duxford. I think. Artillery. And tanks. So now, phase 3 is the second motorised turn. So tanks get to move twice. Recce gets to move once. Tanks get to move twice. Recce moves 3 times. Infantry gets to move once. Them's the rules. Because they're motorised, you see. They go faster. Black border means it's the Germans. Yellow is the British and the Poles. Blue means it is the Americans. So it's now the afternoon. We've not attacked yet. So we're going to attack this. We're going to attack up the top. Something's flashing. You're going to keep moving through the swamps. Protect our flanks. It's important to protect your flanks. Otherwise they'll get you. Keep pushing up the road. The road is now clear. We like this. The Welsh Guards got over the small river. The field artillery are going to shell these random Germans who turn up from the west of Eindhoven. We're going to send our artillery up the road. It's a very long road. Now, Telly Savalas was also very good in Death Line, which was it Death Train? No, it was essentially he was a Cossack. Telly Savalas is a Cossack, and he was good in it. You also had Christopher Lee. Oh, those up here. Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, which is marvellous. And lots of people who obviously didn't speak English, badly dubbed, but it was rather good fun. Something's keep moving you. So hopefully, I see everyone's moving now, getting very small. I'm going to get them pushing up the road and not just standing around drinking tea. There we are. You can't scroll the map while things are moving. Guess at Rats let you scroll the map to see what was happening. But this says, no, I'm locking the screen. But it does scroll though to show the action. We got rid of him. Our flanks are now secure again. This is a good thing. Now, German motorised with German tanks. We think there's some German panzers at Arnhem. But are they going to fall for our cunning ploy of sacrificing glider troops? We'll soon find out. Yes, they are. They're moving up to get us. Yeah, that definitely is a panzer then. The Schweinhunds. When troops are in that small box, they take double damage and they can't attack. So you really want to catch them if you can. That's phase 2, which is wrecker units and infantry and non-motorised artillery. These are the British. So we're going to keep pushing on. See, there's a bit of a traffic jam. Because although everyone can move nice and fast on the road, they can't overtake the infantry, who only move once. Unless they're motorised. But they're not motorised, because they're paratroopers. Paratroopers are not motorised, they get to move once. Something's flashing here. So I've caused a traffic jam. So this is the British. And we are not... Unfortunately, so you don't get your soldiers back. So he's at half strength. He's at fractional strength, so he's going to do a retreat. He's at under half, about third strength. So let's push forward anyway, because we're brave. No, exactly, no backseas. You guys are under half strength, but that's okay. We're going to push. We're going to move up and keep an eye on them up here. So they're moving up the hills. These guys are again very weak, so we're going to keep retreating. Now, the Poles are nearly at full strength. They're going to go and attack the Germans, who are very, very small. Now, very, very small. They can't attack and take double damage because they're driving on in their little trucks, so we can get to machine gun them all. And they don't like that. They don't like it up them. They do not like it up them. But that's out of double damage. That's what we want. We don't want that. That's very small damage. Is that... We're shooting at tanks with machine guns. So these Americans are doing all right. They're getting a bit tired. So they're going to retreat a little bit into the woods. And go and help the Poles out. These guys have got the Germans get up against the river. And they don't like that. These Americans are going to go up here and block the road, just in case. These Americans are got about half strength, so they're going to rest. These Americans have retreated and they're very low effective. Their effectiveness is 20%. So they're not happy, so they're going to retreat and have a bit of a rest. These guys are doing quite well though, and they're going to keep pushing forward. Keep our frequencies clear. You're going to dig in. We've got Nijmegen secured, pretty much. But we haven't got Arnhem secured. This is not so good. So we're going to go and hide in the swamps. We're going to keep pushing backwards. Because our idea is... lure them out of the way. It may not work. But it might work. If it does work, it'll be brilliant. And we're going to shoot those guys. So I like those odds. And you are going to keep pushing on the road. You are going to go back on the road. As are you. So what we need to do is get these guys off the road, because they are causing a traffic jam. Because they only get to move in one phase, whereas the tanks get to move in 2 phases. So they're a lot slower. And they can't really be overtaken. So hopefully that will help some of our transport problems. Because we've got the soldiers. They put off the road. Let it over. Nothing like tractors. You know, put in. Let faster cars travel. See? Small, double damage. We got rid of them. This is now German infantry, non-motorised infantry. Look, he's got small again. There's a little German. He's coming. Oh, lovely jubbly. That's German artillery. We can attack him with our paratroopers. That'll be grist to our mill, as we say. Grist to our mill. Because artillery is very good at shooting tanks. Rubbish against infantry. Oh. That is self-propelled artillery, which is a bit better at combat, but still not as good. Not as good as proper tanks. So I need to go and protect him because more Germans have showed up. Which just isn't on. It's not cricket. It's a bit like we get our things moving faster. And infantry is slow. Now this is motorised infantry, which moves as fast as tanks. That's good. We like this. You've retreated. I'm going to carry on retreating. Keep moving. That's motorised artillery, which is what you want. Something's flashing. Yeah, so these little tiny reconnaissance unit. You're on the road. You're staying put, guarding our flank, which is important. You're going to change your size. It means to get into combat. Very small flashing thing. That's the war. So we don't know who this guy is at the top, but we don't like him. We do not like him. They appear on the sides of the map, top and bottom, causing trouble. And the Germans, because they're baddies, have super panzers. See? With rockets and stuff. And they're bigger than our tanks. See? See? We do that about the same size. Remember, this bridge is close. This bridge is far away. So now phase 3, again, motorised. Indeed! They'll do it. And they get rockets on them. And they had camouflage. And at one point, I think they were sending people floating down the river to blow up the bridge as well. And they actually succeeded for a short time, at least. Right. Night time, the 21st. So we now get to attack the Germans in the woods. Go over this bridge. Now, even though you're small, you're not necessarily travelling. You're just being small. So hopefully something's flashing. That's you. You're going to change size. Keep pushing forwards. Hopefully everyone just keeps bloody moving. Who's in front? There's a little box, and he should hopefully be shifting his arse. He's holding up the whole advance. Probably on his tea break. Who is he? Why isn't he moving? Oh, hello. Well, something happened. That's very mysterious. Oh, that's better. Excellent. He's retreated. Possibly some sort of artillery. Again, if it's artillery, he needs to get his arse off the road and let the fast boys up. Because you've got 6 units there who aren't moving. The Germans are now crossing the Rhine at Arnhem and are causing trouble. This is a bad thing. Now, this is a turn of recce units and infantry. Phase 2. So you're already moving, you're fine. You stay put, guard our flanks. Why aren't everyone else moving? So the borderers, who had retreated because they're very, very small, are now being chased by the Germans. So we are going to attack this recce unit and try and recapture the bridge. It's all gone a bit wrong right now at Arnhem Way. It's all gone a bit wrong. But this bit is going all right. We're going to attack the German artillery with our Polish paratroopers. Artillery does not do well against infantry. Neither does recce, which is little lads in armoured cars. Now it's the Americans again. And they're going to attack the artillery. Lots of nice American paratroopers. And there's some more of them. They're not doing good. They're not doing nearly so well. But the Germans in the woods, we're going to get them. Now, you've been attacked from the wrong side. He wasn't expecting that. So we're going to go down and join our mates. And our mates are going to come and join us. We're going to gang up on them. So I like those odds. We're going to shell the guys in the woods. This is the woods above Nijmegen. Now we've got enough troops here. I'm going to send reinforcements to help out in Arnhem. And you're going to join us in Nijmegen. Keep pushing forward. We've got the soldiers. And they'll get there in a couple of days. Germans, they're causing trouble. Now, these are the guys causing not in the way. So I want you to get out of the way. So that the fast troops... yeah, you had 2 brigades there. 2 brigades will completely block the road. Completely block the road. Because obviously they're just sitting there. That's a battalion. You can get people past a battalion, but not past a brigade. So sort of about stacking limits. And I don't know who these Germans are, but I'm going to attack them. This unit here, the flashing unit, is a German infantry unit, just normal common or guard line infantry with rifles, not motorised. Quite quiet. This is the first of the RT Smith games, which I have around here. So, behind me. With the world's tiniest manual. It's a teeny tiny man. Look at teeny tiny. See? Manual close. And also they did a little tiny printout of the map. With Arnhem at the top. Yeah. It's nice. I bought the actual the physical. I'm using a tape image. I bought the physical copy of the game because there was no manual online, and the only manual online was a fan translation of an article in a Russian magazine from 1987, and it was like it was all right, but it's like you couldn't really get what it was trying to say sometimes. We made that artillery retreat, by the way. Go America. Go America. So I bought the manual. Bought the game. They could read the manual, see what was going on, and then also scanned in the manual for the website. So it should be there in due course. Everyone's on holiday, and they're going on holiday and whatnot. So this is the black truck on the green background is German motorised infantry, but now it is the third phase, the second motorised phase. People have already attacked. Can't attack again, but they do get to move again. Something's flashing. You get to keep travelling. So you can see we're now getting past the Americans. And are pushing forward. Which is what we want. Horror Express, that's the one. Horror Express, that with Telly Savalas. Yeah, it's a great film, isn't it? I watched it the other night. It was on. There's a thing called the Film Crowd or something on Twitter where people just watch old films and just tweet about them as a group, and it's quite nice. It's all quite sweet, So it's a bit of fun. Yeah, that was on the other night, and I watched it as a kid, and I thought it was the most amazing thing ever. Especially Telly Savalas as the Cossack. He didn't mess about, did Telly? What are we doing here? And the lovely phrase, they say, one of the monsters is like a shape changer, or you could possess people. And there's everyone should not be alone, always be with someone else. Obviously, Peter Cushing says, I'll be locked up in my cabin with Christopher Lee. And he goes, and someone goes, well, what if one of you's the monster? To which he replies, monster? We're British, don't you know? Which is wonderful. Yeah, it was really quite cool. Yeah, we're British, you stupid man. We can't possibly. We can't be a monster. We're British. You stupid idiot. Huzzah! So there's something up with this bloody. Ah, yes, that makes sense. Yeah, the original of the thing. Now, I'm going to change this bloke's orders because we were in a traffic jam. I'm flashing. The guy in front of me isn't moving, and I don't know why, and it offends me. We've got German panzers, the worst kind of panzers. So we've got panzers coming up between, that's Weigel and Grave. Fortunately, we've got our troops coming up now, and enough for them to hold him off. Phew, that was just in time, really. Now, the American glider troops, though, are going to be not in a good place, because they're about to get attacked by Jerry. To be fair, the manual said this scenario will take about 8 or 9 hours to play. We've been going we had 2 hours last week, and we're going another hour now. We've gone through another 2 days. So they're not messing. They weren't joking. And it's not going well at Arnhem. So this one, the scenario goes on until it's 26 turns. But how a turn is, there are 3 turns to a day. It doesn't say when it starts, which is really unhelpful. The menu just lets you save the game. That's all you can do. Can't do anything else. So I need to get my tanks now and do some good. We want to keep pushing forward. And again, we need to get our tanks forward. Who's going here now? Bit of the old shelling. They don't like it up them. Right, I'm going to change his orders because there's someone in front of me. And I don't know who it is. And it's annoying because they ain't moving. Maybe they've broken down. So we're going to get around them. I don't know who the hell they are. They're probably some sort of infantry. I hear we've got a big fat infantry brigade. Here we've got a tank corps. And these guys you need to hold off the Germans. Definitely hold off the Germans. Nice bit of artillery. Get him into Grave. Beyond Grave. Pink is major city. Black is just town. And get these at least into Nijmegen. So this bit's going all right now. We've cracked the problem at Eindhoven. And now getting our troops up forward now to Nijmegen. Now, will it be enough? Will it be fast enough? Now thinking, here we are. Who's next? Battle time. He won't like that. However, because he's in the woods, he gets better defensive and also especially better defense against artillery. Now the polders are even better against artillery. Basically, if you're in the polders, basically you can just ignore the artillery pretty much. I think it seems to suggest. This is now the German first motorised phase. So all the Germans, most of the Germans now are around Arnhem, apart from that guy there. And these guys are now pushing forward from Arnhem. Because the bridges at Nijmegen and Arnhem are very long bridges. They're at 600 metres long. And if it's a bloke at the other end with a machine gun or a bazooka, you're not going to be crossing it in a hurry. So we need to make sure we hold both ends. I'm in an army jumper, which is a little bit itchy, and an army beret with a Royal Tank Regiment badge and another badge, because Monty always had two badges. Two badge Monty, they called him. So recce units get to move 3 times. First motorised phase, second phase, and second motorised phase. So obviously they can move up to 12 spaces in a turn. If you make a mistake, you can go, actually, I'm going to do it again. I'll get out of the way. Okay, everyone goes to be in the recce units. Eindhoven looks pretty safe now. The South Staffordshires are not happy. Remember, they got very badly... Oh, hello. We have an opportunity. They've abandoned the bridge, briefly. Now, we've got a very weak battalion here. But by going forwards, we can stop them crossing the bridge. And they can't attack us because they're little. They're travelling. They're on the bridge, so we can shoot them. And they can't shoot back. And that's the sort of odds that I like. And the odds I don't like are the fact that we're getting wiped out otherwise. Which is why we need to keep pushing forwards here and attack this artillery on the Nijmegen Heights to the east of the city. Because infantry versus artillery, that's good odds. Double damage, and they can't fight back, and they can't expand either because they're stuck on the bridge. So now it's the Americans who again have a similar opportunity. So to go for this artillery. Now you can't travel, so you're going to push forward. You're on this road here. just in case some Germans come down this road. So we don't trust them. We're going to keep attacking the Germans. We're doing all right here. You're a bit damaged, so we're going to push forward and go for the artillery. You're really unhappy. You're going to retreat into the swamps. The polders, should say, rather than the swamps. Now you guys are doing all right. So we're going to keep retreating and luring Germans away from Arnhem itself. Because that's what we want. Get them away from Arnhem. We've got artillery here. You can shell both of those. You're crossing the bridge. A bit of reinforcement. That's what we like. You're going as well. Now, you are going to go here. A little bit forward. We don't want to block the road, which we are going to do for a little bit at least. But we also want to use our troops, because these troops can actually cross the Rhine. So remember, it's the British 30th Corps. We're going to dig in here. We're going to shoot the Germans with our big guns. So remember, we don't want our parachute troops on the road too much, because they only get to move in one phase, whereas motorised infantry and tanks get to move in 2 phases. So then they'll be stuck behind them in phase 3 and then in phase 1. So they'll basically miss two goes at movement. This bit's going alright, actually. Oh, Nijmegen. Oh, that's a flak unit. So basically, yeah, they're rubbish. They're basically rubbish. So we're going to slaughter that. And hopefully these guys are getting wiped out too in the woods. Yes. Oh, I've got a lovely ride. Hey, good evening. Hello, good evening, and welcome, raiders. You're lucky here. We could do some reinforcements. We are playing again. We are continuing playing. We're doing good. We're actually progressing, kind of. We're playing Arnhem because this is the end of in history. Well, in 1944 it was, but not now. The Market Garden operation. And this is a very long war game. The whole thing takes about 8 hours. We had 2 hours last week. We have another 2 hours this week. I'm dressed as Field Marshal Montgomery with my beret and my 2 badges. It's going all right. So, Mr. Kitman, the Allies, you think you'll find they achieved 90% of their objectives. Field Marshal Montgomery said so. But yeah, essentially the idea was, if I activate this, here's the map. If I turn the tulips off, you advance from the Allied front line north, capturing bridges at Eindhoven. You drop paratroops there. We send the 30th Corps. Yeah, pretty much, Antaeus. So you keep pushing forward for Eindhoven, then Son. Paratroops and Gladder troops capture the bridges. Once you keep going, you then keep driving up the road. Piece of cake. There's no Germans in the area because we've checked that, so it's all fine. This town here, I think, is Vagel. You see, I know my areas. Hello there, Taz. So basically, you keep drive your tanks up this road. The road is very narrow. On either side of it are polders, which are like swamps. But it's fine, though. There are lots of bridges, which won't get blown up or blocked or hit by travel. Then you keep pushing forward past Vagel. Then you get into a town called Grave, which wasn't a particularly good omen, having a town called Grave. It's a very long, thin map. Here comes Grave at the top of the map here. And then eventually you'll get to Nijmegen and the Lower Rhine. But here's Grave. So, a very long, straight road. No problem at all. Just keep going in a straight line along the road. Across always little bridges. Bridges that can only be crossed by tanks in column. Beyond Grave, you get into the big rivers and bridges that are, say, 600 metres wide and very wide rivers that can't be bridged otherwise. But you get across those bridges at Nijmegen and then at Arnhem, and then all you need to do is turn right and they're into Germany. And then you win the war. Huzzah! And it all worked perfectly fine. Drop parachutes in, capture everything will be perfect, no worries at all. Oh, that's interesting. Which bit? Hello, Gavir Looks at Life. Yes, this is Nijmegen. See here, the rivers here is a lot wider. So in this game, that's a wide river, which is only crossable at bridges or by paratroop and glider units, who have little canoes or something. And beyond Nijmegen, it's a short hop to Arnhem, where what there is now is I think it's the John Frost Bridge in honour of the bloke played by Anthony Hopkins in the film. And here we are, about to get to Arnhem, very close. Very close. One more, nearly there. Face goes scrolling. And here we have Arnhem on the right, and on the left is Oosterbeek, which is where the headquarters of Field Marshal Model were. The film is on at the moment. The Trolls did the bridge, and the Trolls helped the Nazis. But anyway, this here, which is the bridge too far. So we're going to try and capture it. And we've been playing here for several hours, 3 hours in. And the way the game works, there are 3 turns to a day: morning, afternoon, night. Each turn has 3 phases. Phase 1, which is motorised. Phase 2, not motorised. Phase 3, motorised again. You only get to attack once a turn, but you might get to move up to 3 times. I would have to go there, actually, in all seriousness. I tried to watch the film last week, but I only recorded half of it. And this game, we have air landings, we have artillery, and you also have traffic jams. I've mentioned traffic jams. There's a limit to how many units you can have on a square. Tanks can only cross rivers at bridges. You have to be very small to cross it on a bridge. And it's very There's no blowing up bridges in this one. If there was, I think we'd have already lost. Yes, and one of the bridges. I think was it at Eindhoven got blown up, and then they had to basically replace it. Was a bit of a delay, but they got it sorted. But the issue you have with your units, you've got some units that can move 3 times a turn, with reconnaissance units. Some units can move twice a turn. For example, motorised infantry, the 1st Battalion of the Welsh Guards. Hello, Ponder. Oh, something's happened. I don't know what, though. Whatever happened there, it was very nice. Possibly a follow. Yes, this is the Welsh Guards. They're motorised infantry, so they can move quite fast, twice a turn. But if you're not careful, you have paratroopers sitting on the road in big units. Thank you. And they sit on the road in big units, and then everyone goes, we can't get past them. And then nobody moves for 3 days until you work out, what's going on? What's going on? So we had that happen to us. So the moment we've got everything fine at Eindhoven. We've got everything sorted out at Son. Yeah, it's very tricky. So here, this is motorised artillery. You got a little artillery thing and a little truck. So this thing gets to move 3 times a turn. Twice a turn, sorry. The blue things in front of it are American paratroops. They get to move once a turn, and they're in the way. The green and black square with the jaggedy lines, that is dug in, and I know that is a dug in German, and I happen to know he's Panzers, which is bad news. So I'm trying to get everyone up this bloody road and over the bridge. Because most of the poles have been wiped out, unfortunately. and a fair amount of the British, a lot of the paratroopers have as well in Arnhem. And some of these units are tiny, and they're all really small, and you can't see what's going on, and they're in the way. So here, this is an infantry brigade. Brigades are big. You cannot have 2 brigades on the same square. So I'm going to move him off the road. It was, yeah. And we are going to now send some tanks down here just to stop those panzers getting in the way. These are the Royals. There were 3 airborne divisions. The 1st Airborne, the 82nd Airborne, and the 101st Airborne. The second 2 were American, and the third Corps, which is British tanks. And those are these guys who are stuck on the road, trying to get up the road here. Eindhoven, Son. This is Vagel. Beyond Vagel, we've got Grave, which is big. Beyond Grave, you've got Nijmegen. Beyond Nijmegen, you've got Arnhem. This is artillery. Artillery is very good at shooting tanks. These down here are German tanks. We're going to shoot them. This is artillery. We're pushing this artillery up though, further up towards the front. So hopefully everyone is now moving a bit faster. You can also move non-tanks over rivers, but it's a bit slow. But it's doable. Get around to the bridges. And also you can guard your flanks as well, because the Germans appear on the edge of the map. The map is north is to the right of the map, so we're heading north, but we're heading some way or other. So now phase 3, which is the second motorised area. So there's German panzers, they don't like it up. Good evening, Dan Gamer. We are pushing forward. We've retreated from Arnhem, but we're luring the Germans out of Arnhem, over the river. We've done that. And also out of Arnhem to the west with some glider troops. It's now the afternoon, it's an ideal time for a spot of tea. So these are the 2nd Battalion of the Irish Guards. And they've done quite well. But they're still nowhere near where we need them to be. We've got lots of soldiers, but not in the right place. So we're sending everyone up. Now, we're getting there though, because this is Nijmegen. And Nijmegen is the bridge before the bridge too far. And the Germans, unfortunately, are coming in strong at Nijmegen, and we don't like that. We don't like that at all. But fortunately, we've now got tanks. Tanks aren't too far away to make across the bridge. No worries, it's going good. Yeah, so after a stream, I will stop and get a drink. Yes, it's going all right, actually. We had a nice weekend. Yesterday, we went to see the cinema. And we saw a film that wasn't a war film. It was a romantic comedy type thing with George Clooney and Julia Roberts. It was just nice. And then went for a dinner party. And today, it's been a quiet day. And we went for lunch at the Chinese buffet restaurant in Attleborough, which was very nice. And then went for a walk, bought some new slippers. It's very middle-aged of me. Came back, played some chess. And I thought, may as well have another crack at this. Try and win or lose. Yeah, it's been a nice day. Nice day. And then I'm recording A Bridge Too Far, properly this time. I tried last week, but last week, due to the fact the film was split in half by the news, I only recorded the first half. So it was on again this week. So I recorded that. So I'm going to send the Welsh Guards forward onto this road and then chuck them at the Germans, because they don't like it up them. We've now guarded our flanks. Now, when they designed the game, we've got problems here. Problems here is we've got 2 American parachute brigades blocking the road. And we need to get them out of the way. But we can't do that until phase 2. But we can get everyone queued up behind them. Because they're overlapping slightly, that means, that's two brigades there. You ain't shifted, mate. It's completely blocked. So all these little units here, I'm trying to get them up the map. And it's complete chaos. Everyone's beeping their horns. Everyone's getting very irate. because these are the guys who we really need to help at Arnhem. Whereas at Arnhem, we've got some guys basically in a swamp, in the polder. Not, you know, it's like effectively it's at this time of year it's all a bit marshy, and they're stuck, and they need reinforcements. But our reinforcements are several days away, behind several bridges which haven't been blown up. So T for travel means makes you small. If you're small, you can't attack. You take double damage. You can cross bridges, and if you're travelling, you get to move at 2.5 times speed, which is a good thing. So you want to get there fast. I'm not at Play Expo this weekend. The sad thing is, I'm on call for work next weekend, so I can't go. And to be fair, I went the last couple of times and enjoyed it. I would have gone this time, to be fair, but I'm on call for work. And something's flashing. Yeah, yellow and green is really hard to see. I've got cardboard binoculars. Yeah, I'm on call for work, so I can't really go anywhere. But I went to Manchester, and I went to London the other weekend, and I got some various holidays planned and other things. So it's not the end of the world. I would have liked to have gone. So I do like the proper arcade machines. So this is artillery. Yeah, I know Roasted Spectrum's going, and he's very much looking forward to it. Is Rosie? Yes, I like Rosie. So this is our artillery. We're sending the artillery up the road very, very fast, but we're not going to get very far until we get the Americans out of the way, and that won't be until phase 2. The Americans won't get phase 1 because they don't have any tanks or motorised infantry. They get parachute troops. They get glider troops, and they get... Yeah, it's always the way, isn't it? Always the way. And I was with Primo and my mate David, who doesn't have an internet name, and then we went for a few pubs. We went to a couple of pubs, one called The Lock, and then one called The Oast House, which is really rather nice. And then the next day, before we went home, we went to find the Roman fort, which I didn't know that Manchester had a Roman fort. It was started out as a auxiliary fort under Agricola. In the glory days of the Roman Empire in the 1st century AD. That's always the way. Always the way. We left about 9:30. Then we went to a pub crawl. But it's all quite nice though. So this here is German motorised infantry attacking or killing our glider troops in the polders. And this is important because you can only cross a bridge if you're in the little small travelling square. If you're in the little small travelling square, you can't attack, and you take double damage. So you need to make sure you control both ends of these bridges. And we don't have that at Arnhem, and we have that at Nijmegen at the moment, but not necessarily for long. So this is phase 2, which is reconnaissance. You get to move at all 3 phases. They're super fast. And infantry. And non-motorised artillery. And anything that's not motorised. Which includes these guys, who aren't motorised. They're in very poor shape. But also they are defending the far side of the bridge. And on the bridge is some artillery. So we can get them. Which is a good thing. These guys are not in a happy place. They're going to stay where they are. These are glider troops. We've got some Polish troops left over. We lost a lot of Polish troops, but these guys are still around. And I'm going to keep them where they are, because they are very good and they're going to guard that flank. And then we get the Americans out of the way. So that is artillery. And they're not going to look like us, which is good. These guys are doing alright. We've actually done pretty well here at Nijmegen. What we need to do now, though, is get back across that bridge. We're guarding our flanks now. These guys are not very strong. So we're sending them across the bridge anyway. That's all we've got. We need them. These guys are nice and strong. Let's get them across that bridge. You're half strength. You'll guard the road. You're incredibly weak, so you're just stay here. Digging in the marsh. These guys are pretty good. we're using these to hopefully lure the Germans out of Arnhem. It's our cunning plan. It may not work, but it's an idea. And we've also got some artillery, which is a very short range. And it's... Right. That's artillery, and what we can do is move it closer so we can shell the Germans. These guys are nice and strong, and we're going to dig in for now. No, we're going to attack the Germans. We're aggressive, we're paratroops. Again, we're going to keep moving. But we're watching out for... There were two blue guys together, and they're causing trouble. It's not you. You're doing okay. It's these bastards. They're blocking the road. Oh, yeah, we're desperately trying not to. Get off the road. Please get off the road. Right. Because they're together, they count as a brigade, therefore we block everything. And that's going to cause havoc. If they're on their own, they're fine. You can squeeze past them. But if they're together, it's not good. And we also don't forget, Steve, we don't want to get Gene Hackman killed, and we might have got Gene Hackman killed. The Poles, I think last week the Poles had a good attack at Arnhem. They surrounded the Germans, who then surrounded them in turn, and then pretty much everyone died. We have got one Polish unit left, who is south east of Nijmegen, and he's doing well. And we've driven these tanks back as well, because they thought everything was fine, and then they didn't realise there was some SS Panzer units about. Oh yeah, good old Hackman. Everyone likes a bit of Hackman. I think he's on tonight as well in French Connection 2, Electric Boogaloo. So we're going to move into phase 3. Because I've separated the American units out on the road, the British can get through, is the plan. This is quite an itchy jumper. Having itchy jumpers is good for morale. So now the border goes black. That means the baddies are having to go. The baddies are the Germans, who are facing to the left of the screen. And they've already recaptured... They've crossed over from Arnhem to head towards Nijmegen. And they're sending artillery across the bridge to attack our glider troops. And they're probably shelling us as well. So that's not going to be good for our boys. Yeah, who have all died. Also, or possibly surrendered. Possibly surrendered. Right. We can keep moving forwards. As we are. Motorised infantry can cross small rivers, which is good. Tanks can't, though. Tanks have to cross rivers by bridges. The motorised infantry can move fast, though, because it's going to get them shifted. Especially there's no Germans around. Same with our recce units. So up here, you've got a massive lodge of blue polder, and then followed up our major river. So it's very hard to cross. That's why the bridges are important. So you should be moving forward very soon. Polders are very slow to move through. You can do it. It's just very, very slow. So we're going back and forth. That German unit there is a tank destroyer. So I'm going to get my tanks away from the tank destroyers. As tank destroyers aren't much good cop against infantry, though. Because they're tank destroyers. Everyone's on the road. Hopefully you'll see these guys moving. Keep pushing them up. Keep pushing them up. This is phase 3. Americans don't get phase 3 because they don't have any motorised units. They only have infantry units and airdropped artillery, which only has a range of 6. But we're getting the big boys in. The big boys. I've lost the tulips and the bridge. Those are wooden tulips, I think. We got them from the Castle Mal in Norwich years ago. But we did get the vase from Amsterdam. It's got a crack in it. So you can't use it for real flowers. It leaks water everywhere. But it's nice. That is nice. So now, phase 3, second motorised phase. You can only attack once per turn. That's the one. Yeah, because they had to cram them in. And that's why they had special. They don't have much range. It's fascinating stuff, though. Getting actual howitzers and that on gliders. Because when you land troops, you can only land. Oh, see, we've got past the Americans, which is good. You can only land on a completely clear square, so a lot of squares aren't clear. So you're limited where you can land. I was in the middle, you lots of space. Around Arnhem, not a lot of choice. But we're doing all right here. You're going to keep travelling. This is Grave. See, we've already got some British units in Nijmegen, which is excellent. It's what we need. But can they hold the bridge enough to get us to get our tanks across? I certainly hope so. So everyone's on the road now, hopefully bombing along. Now it's the night time. Everyone's already got orders. Phase 1. We have got German tanks now. German tanks. German tanks and German tank destroyers. Now tanks are against infantry. Tank destroyers aren't. So I've got to send my tanks back in. Okay, we keep pushing forward. There are 3 phases per turn and 3 turns per day. So what we now have is this artillery here is now in range of the Germans. He said, pressing a button. So now we get to travel up. We get the guys over the bridge and get the fight back. So I think we managed to get. So the Allies managed to get up to Nijmegen and get across the bridge, and then basically ran out of steam. Some SS generals said they could have kept moving forwards, although latest sources pointed out that he didn't know there were already 7 Tiger tanks over the bridge at Arnhem heading south. So they couldn't have. If they had pushed forward, they'd have been defeated. But it was a very close run thing. They got very close to Arnhem, but not in enough time and not in enough strength. Hence, watch the film. The film takes some liberties with certain things. Some bits are toned down, some bits are toned up. I know Dirk Bogart his portrayal of General Browning didn't go down very well, whereas Edward Fox was apparently spot on for General Horrocks, because apparently he knew him and he was absolutely spot on in his portrayal. So now the Germans are attacking our American paratroopers just beyond the bridge at Nijmegen. That's not good. That's not good. We need to get troops over that bridge. And quickly. And force them back. This is phase 2, which is recce units and non-motorised units. This is the British turn. The yellow border means it's British. So the red blobbly areas are woods. The bridges, things that look like bridges, The black dots are towns. Big pink blobs are cities, and you also get some hills as well. But the light blue is polder, which counts as a sort of marshy area, which is really good at hiding from enemy artillery, but very slow to move through. So this guy here is just lurking. You're going to just generally digging because there's not any Germans at the moment. Have a bit of a rest. What we now need is the American phase 2. And getting across that bridge. You're going to stay put. You're going to stay put. You're going to guard the flank just to be safe. You're going to stay put. You're going to travel over the bridge and then stop here. You're very weak, so you're going to stay put. Now, these guys again, we're luring them out. See, we're causing trouble. So go into attack now. It's the big push, and we've got some artillery with which we're going to shoot the Germans. You guys are pretty good. So you're going to attack the Germans from the sides. You are going to change your orders. We're going to cross this bridge to here. We're going to stay off the road because the British are coming. Lots of nice paratroops guarding our flanks now. Oh, it is, yeah. It's a nice, effective sound. It's a sort of let's have a it starts out and it works. It just works because you don't have a lot of options with the sounds. I think with Vulcan on 128k mode, you get a quite nice sort of, but it's quite nice, but it's a bit lasery. Whereas in Desert Rats 128k, you get nice machine gunny and artillery type effect, which is quite effective. And the reason you want the sound is the longer the sound, the more effective you are. So in this one, you only take damage when you're attacked. If you're attacking, you don't take any damage at all. So it's quite strange. Yeah, good old scorched earth. So we're attacking tanks on a hill, and we're doing damage. So those tanks are up there, which means they're not in Arnhem, which is a good thing, because tanks aren't very effective on hills. And also, he's made himself a little. So the key thing now is we need to get troops across that bridge and drive the Germans back from the bridge at Nijmegen. It's a great. I think I had an Action Man. Exactly, yeah. I had an Action Man command post bunker thing with two buttons. One was machine gun and one was artillery. We made that pretty much that sound. Whee! But the explosion was like whee, boom, sort of thing, and then it was well cool. Oh, hello. See. The Germans have a habit of sneaking in the sides. This is an underhanded German trick. So we don't like that. You also have. I'll send this guy up as far as I can. So the Germans are trying. They're trying to flank me, and that's not allowed. But also they're trying to flank me at Nijmegen. Do you see that there's a little teeny tiny German unit down here? Now he's trying to sneak across the river. Now he can't cross the river. This is a major river, which can only be crossed by the bridge or by paratroopers or glider troops. So he can't get across. He's a recce unit, so he's out of luck. Yeah, good old major river. He's our pal. Yes, the two major rivers. So basically, it really does restrict you to no. This game is about the bridges, and the bridges are really important, especially the big bridges. The little bridges are really just for tanks, but the big bridges, no, they're for everyone apart from your paratroopers, who are probably all dead by now. So we've cleared that runway. So the only trouble is, if you play in this mode, it's quite hard to see. There's a cat there. I was not happy. There was also a black and white mode where the British are basically blue as well as the Americans, which is a bit easier to see. He's floof, yes. I think that's my cat Tinkerbell, who's not very happy. Last night, one of them wasn't very happy because the conservatory was shut, and he wanted to go into his conservatory and he couldn't because it was shut. This is obviously an outrage. And no, he's going to write to his MP. Oh, they definitely had cat troops. Oh yes, that's why we won. Because Hitler, he liked dogs. The Allies, we like cats. See, cats have 9 lives. So that's why we win. So here now, we've got a traffic jam because units that are in. Oh, I hope you're not like Hitler. I like dogs. Actually, joking aside, I like dogs too. We got cats here, but I grew up with dogs. Hello, Goldie. It's going all right today. It's going all right. I hope your gig went well. Explaining here. See these little tiny units. Tiny units can't pass through each other at all, and they can't stack. So if you get a traffic jam, you're in real trouble. So we're fighting at Nijmegen. We've got a bridgehead over the Rhine at Nijmegen. We've lost Arnhem though, which is a bit of an issue because that's we really need all the bridges. But we are managed to. The Germans sent some tanks in from the side in between the town of Vagel. Yeah, go. How do you pass through? You can't get out of the way. At least at least in this game you don't have to worry about supply. Whereas Desert Rats, bloody hell, the way Desert Rats work, you got a very similar, very long map, and your supplies come in from one end or the other, pretty much. And the further along the map you are, the less supplies you get. So if you're the baddies and you're doing quite well, you suddenly find, oh, hang on, you've done quite well. Oh, can I invade Egypt now? No. Why? You can't get any petrol. Why not? Because all the petrol we've given you has been given to drive the trucks towards you to give you an empty petrol can because they've used all the petrol up. Oh. Which is a bit of a problem. We've now got some artillery. They're going to stay put. Be coughing away. And that's also realistic because when you got to the Battle of El Alamein, Rommel was basically at the far end of his supply line, so it took so much supplies to get his troops from Tripoli. Essentially, it's like driving petrol from Paris to Moscow, kind of thing. You can apparently, if you could be points. I'll give it a go. It's even better if I know the words, if I know the tune. If I don't, I'll make something up. I've done that before. So this is phase 3, the second motorised phase. I made that GIF of the bridge. Essentially, I went into Paint 3D. They have a... I know, of course, it was the Dad's Army theme. If not, I'll get them up anyway. Lyrics. There we are. Yeah, I've got them on another screen just in case. At one point, I had to sing. Oh God, what the hell was I was singing? I think. Absolutely, yes, they very much were, because Ron was, when I was a kid, Ron couldn't get the petrol or the ammunition because it's all the water. So here we are. We can't scroll the map annoyingly, but I can see here the Germans have got control of Arnhem. This is a bad thing. The Germans are pretty much very close to the bridge at Nijmegen. This is a very bad thing. And they're driving up to the west. West is to the top of the screen at Arnhem. And we are going to have trouble crossing the bridge. And then also we're going to go into things like... Indeed. We get into stuff like... oh God, what is it now? What am I thinking of? The pursuit. You're then driving Rommel back. You're then going to have petrol to chase Rommel. And then when you capture Tripoli, you then need to rebuild Tripoli because they demolished the port and left booby traps and that. So you have to wait a month to rebuild your supplies up. And in the Vulcan, basically, you can put like your French troops all over the place. Right. So this is going to be tricky now. But I think we might be able to do it, but it's going to be tricky. Yes, you could. So in Desert Rats, there was one road. You trace supply lines from a road to a headquarters or a track, and if you put somebody on the road at, say, outside Alexandria, then that can basically block off enemy supply for the whole map. However, there are 2 ports in Desert Rats, Tobruk and Benghazi, but they're of limited range because they're not very big. But our idea is if you have a division in Tobruk and you're British or you're Italian, basically you can be resupplied by sea indefinitely, which is a good thing. And as you move forward, it helps you out. I have played North. I never got on with North and South. I think the trouble I had was I had it on the Spectrum, and I was playing it as a kid on my own. If you have the arcade battles, the computer cheats by controlling all the bits at once. And without the arcade battles, it's just not much fun. But my mate had it on the Amiga and he really liked it. And in the attic, which is obviously up there, not down there, no, in the attic, I've got a Tunic Bleu comic book. Because it was a big French comic book. So I got that upset in the attic. One of them, it's my wife's. Yes, they do something. There's Tunic Bleu. So here, these are probably tiger tanks we're chasing away into the swamps. So these guys have been sitting here quite happily, guarding the side. These are tank destroyers. Ah, nice one. Yeah, you get things like the fort was all right. You didn't get the. I don't think you got the train on the Spectrum version. We got the fort and got the battle. That was all you got really. So I'm now going to shoot with artillery these guys. Now we're moving. We're going to have real trouble crossing that bridge. We can do it, but we're going to take casualties. But I think we can do it. Just. Yeah, I did that GIF with Paint 3D. Paint 3D, rotate it slightly, take a screenshot, and then whack it into Caden Live. So most of it's going all right. I think we're 90% winning, apart from the 10% we're definitely not winning, and we're not going to win. Because we have to cross 2 bridges in the face of German defence, and they're major rivers. But our cunning feint is helping. Yeah, we can do that. We can do the Dad's Army thing. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run? We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done? Mr. Brand goes off to town on the 821, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So, Mr. Hitler, you have met your match in us. If you think you can what the hell? They got an extra bit that don't work. The best I can do though. However, I did see. There's no worries at all. Ian Lavender, who played Private Pike in Dad's Army, is a patron of a charity I vaguely help out and support now and again. And we were doing a fundraiser for said charity. My wife and I were making Belgian waffles. And I offered Ian Lavender, yeah, that bit that works. It's not in the show. Was that what? It might have been, yeah. They've added bits on, but I certainly remember the first bit. But yes. Anyway, so he was there. He was there, helping out, to see what was what. He lived vaguely locally, and so I said, "We're not Belgian waffle." He said, "No, he was on a diet, unfortunately." And I also saw Rick Wakeman through a glass door once. You see, friend of the stars. Dan says I got a CD of songs that won us the war or something. But so now here we are, phase 2, non-motorized. So this is infantry with a rifle, not motorized. The little arrow thing represents gliders. So in Desert Rats, I would do this, and that'd be brilliant because I'll cut off all their supplies, and they'd be absolutely screwed. Yeah, blasting. Exactly. And unfortunately, this is not Desert Rats, so we can't do that. We can cross the river in different places, though. So I'm going to be doing that because these paratroopers can cross the Rhine without using the bridge, which is a good thing. So we should be doing that because we need to. Change orders. Get out of the way. Get big. And start crossing the Rhine further down. And also the Germans can't see how big we are. Ah. Yes, I've never seen a bluebird. They're nice, but the bluebirds sound nice. They sound nice, don't they? Bluebirds. He's retreated, which is a bad thing. So he's going to move out of the way. So these are American glider troops. They're trying to act out the Germans. So this is artillery. He doesn't need to be next to the bridge. He's going to move one space away. Now he retreated because you got badly mauled by the baddies. So we're going to go over here to be lurking about. We've also retreated, but we can cross the river in a different place. So we'll be doing that. So these are small. These are very small units, but they're moving forward slowly. The markets are reasonably white. They're not chalk. I've been to Dover. I went to the White Cliffs Museum or something, which is quite nice. We had relatives over from France. That was quite nice in the White Cliffs of Dover. And the castle is square. But it was built that way in the 12th century, but it's deliberately old-fashioned. Because by that point they moved on to round castles because their round castles were better. But so now they're wearing a square one because it looks a bit more imposing, a big square castle. So we've got rid of the Germans down here, which is a good thing. So these are the Americans. Phase 2. They're going to cross the Rhine in little boats. Is my next cunning plan. I wonder how long the game lasts. We'll soon find out. It will tell you on the last turn, but it's not looking that good. Yeah, that's the one. Yes, thank you. Yes, I like Calais. I keep thinking we should have Calais back. I missed Mammouth. Mammouth was a hypermarché in Calais, whose symbol was a big woolly mammoth. It was great. There were days when it was 10 francs to the pound. That's not good sound. So we're on a hill, but we're not dug in. That's not a good sound. Yes. Well, I'm sure George Formby would have liked to see that blue tits. Keep morale up. I think at one point they were investigating George Formby for being subversive, even though obviously it's George Formby. He's not subversive at all, you bloody idiots. But so he's trying to sneak up out the back. But that's the last of General Gene Hackman. So again, we're pushing up the road. Yeah, we visited Dover just because I thought, well, actually, while we're here now, I may as well visit it, sort of thing. Which made sense. Oh, that's good to know. There's a place near here called Stanter, and that's a big army training base. There's some churches in there. And those churches are basically desanctified and all the pews are taken out. But they're still there. They're like lovely Pugin churches. But obviously they was used for training in the war. They were told, after the war you can all come back. And they said, no, you can't come back. We're keeping this. And it's used for things like... It's used for stuff... they built an artificial Afghan village there. Almost an Argentinian village. That's the wrong place entirely. Like a fake Afghan village for training purposes and stuff. And you can actually visit it a couple of times a year, as on official visits. To visit graves and look around and stuff as a tourist. I keep thinking of doing that. Also visiting Grimes' graves, which is not quite the same thing, but. So now we've got rid of the Germans down the bottom. So now we get our tanks back onto the road. And here are the Royals, made famous by the New Zealand singer Lordy. So again, we've got lots of soldiers, but in the wrong places. On a very, very long road. That would make sense. And it was weird. Sometimes you're driving it up the M3 and you see like convoys of tanks on tank transport. You think, well, is something going on? And then, but you never know anything going on. I used to live near Southampton, and it was always quite nice going to the Portsmouth Historic Dockyard. Now, I've got tanks there. We're trying to push forward, and the Germans have now got the other end of the bridge at Nijmegen. This is a bad thing. But we think we can outflank them with our American paratroopers, with a bit of luck. It's now phase 3. It's going to be tricky. So far we managed to recreate the actual events. I was playing Vulcan, and I managed to do a no-death speed run of the Tunisian campaign, which I was quite pleased with. I managed to win the whole thing in 3 days, and nobody died. So with Vulcan, the idea was you have to capture the Axis ports very quickly, and it didn't work in real life because of bad weather and bad roads and sort of thing and bad planning. Lots of Germans in Arnhem, but I managed to do it. I was quite really pleased. No death, then one will have to surrender. Okay, lots of soldiers on the road. This is the afternoon of the 23rd of September. Phase 1. So here, indeed. So the problem we have at the moment is this tank can only cross the bridge in little teeny tiny form. If it does that, it will get killed off by the Germans. So he can't move. That's a problem. Yeah, we definitely. And we had anecdotes about Ian Lavender. Lavender blue, dilly dilly, lavender green. When I am king, dilly dilly, you shall be queen. So here we've got another lot of tanks who again can't cross the bridge because there are Germans on the other side and they'll just shoot us, which is a bad thing. Now the Welsh Guards, though, they can go and attack the Germans eventually. These guys can't get the Germans either, so they can move out of the way. So we want to get our artillery up as fast as we can. Now you're in the way, so keep moving forward, please. So what we need now is... See, look, berets, look, beret, hat. You've got Monty tie and everything. Someone was flashing, Lord. Right, so we have authentic traffic jams, just like in the war. Wow, that is really good. I've got the film to watch. Piats were not great, were they? Piats. Piat is a projectile infantry anti-tank, a British World War II, like a spigot mortar. You have to sort of stand up and sort of put a great big shaped shell. You have to put this. It was fired with a spring. A very big spring. Although Piats were better than the sticky bombs. That's all, yeah. Sticky bombs were worse, I think. Basically, the sticky bombs were basically bombs covered in glue. The idea is you ran up and you took the cover off and stuck it on an enemy tank. Unfortunately, you take the cover off and it would get stuck to you, and then the fuse is already going, which is that, or get stuck to your trousers. Yeah, I know that they discovered shaped charges. Someone was testing explosives or something in America, and then they noticed because the gun cotton had basically the name of the company stamped in it. So it was like sort of embossed, so and so made this gun, and then they noticed that was being burned into the armor plate. So we can shell these Germans here with our artillery. And that's about all we can do in phase 1. But more troops are coming up, which is good. And then it's going. If you leave a bit of a gap, you get a much better effect. This is just a solid blast. So now the British have now reached Regan. Shelling's doing quite well. But is it going to be enough? We need heavy shelling, which does damage them. It doesn't just make them more vulnerable. It actually damages them. Because they can't cross the bridge either. Oh, the boys, yeah. Oh, the boys. Yeah, that was a big lad. The Germans had the first anti-tank rifle in 1918, which actually worked because the armour was quite relatively thin. It was just a big bullet. Oh. They're attacking me across the bridge, the so-and-sos. I'm not sure that's allowed or within the rules. So now it's phase 2. In phase 2, reconnaissance units and anything non-motorised. So infantry, paratroopers and non-motorised artillery. So I'm going to send these guys down to help out. Down here. Just in case some Germans come up from down the bottom. Which is not what you want. Germans coming up down the bottom. Which is the east. Which is German-occupied Germany. So the map is very long and wide. It is the Netherlands from just south of Eindhoven up to Arnhem. So these guys aren't very strong, but we can generally cause trouble and get in the. What I'm trying to use them for is just cause consternation, because I don't believe the enemy AI knows that that's a weak unit. It knows it's a British unit, but not that it's quite weak. These are now the Americans. These units can cross the river and the swamps. So we're going to do that now, or try to. In as great numbers as we can. So we're going to travel them down this way, and get across that river. Because there are lots of us. We've retreated. So we're going to retreat again. I think our mate's got wiped out. So he's going to retreat over here. Get them out of the way. We've got divisional artillery. So we're going to shell the Germans. And you are... Yeah, you're going to attack again, I think. Or try to. You're going to change size to be big and attack that way. These are little lads, so they're going to keep pushing forward. I want you to get off the road, okay? Because you might be holding people up. And there's been enough hold-ups. Keep pushing forward. This is the phase 2 of the Americans, who are blue. You're going to move forward now. Probably too late. You're going to stay in Eindhoven, just in case. Where the hell am I? You're over there somewhere. Right, here we are. Because the map is very, very long. So you think, well, where am I? Oh, that's Vagel, that town there in the middle. After Vagel is Grave. After Grave is Nijmegen, where the action currently is. So I'll send more artillery up, and hopefully we'll winkle those Germans out of the bridge. Attacking them on both sides. Hopefully that will do some good. Because no one likes being shelled with artillery. That's the paratroops going in. That was quite good. That was a longer sound. Hello there, Doc Flux. Thank you very much for the subscription. Yes, it is. This game is really rather good. It starts, I think it's a bit weird, and then you get into it, you realise, okay.
There's been enough hold-ups. Pretty much the mantra of Operation Market Garden. What ho lol Doc Flu salute.
You're not wrong. So, you know, with the stacking and the bridges, and you can't. This unit can't pass through that unit, and this unit moves in this phase and then that phase. It's simple to understand because infantry moves in phase 2, fine. Tanks move in phase 1 and phase 3, fine. Oh, so if an infantry is in front of a tank, then the tank's not going to move much. Oh, kind of thing. So it works for effect. It is possible. There are gameplay videos on YouTube where you can win the whole thing, and the key thing is don't put any troops in Arnhem northeast of the Rhine, because the Arnhem splits into 2 parts. So it's possible. It's just you have to keep the Germans away from the road, and then just keep pushing forward at all costs, and basically you have to plan things out. There's a introductory scenario which is the advance at Eindhoven. So I can't attack, so I'm waiting for the bridge to be cleared. And I had a few goes at Eindhoven, which is a 10-turn scenario, and I can't win that either. I do quite well, but I do it too slowly. Because not only you have to wait for that one, you have to have the whole road to Eindhoven clear by the end of the game, and it's difficult because the Germans have some troops at the start in the woods. So again, you're going to change size. Move out of the way. And it takes a few turns to get them out of the way. To the side of the road are polders, so you can sort of get around them, but that takes several turns as well. By which point, you've run out of time. So they're trying to attack us from here now. Indeed, that's how I did it. So the anniversary, it started last Sunday, and it ended this Sunday. So I did the first stream last Sunday, so this is the second stream. That's why we progressed. So now I'm going to push forward. Today's the 25th. I don't know how much we'll get of the battle, but we'll give it a good go. What you get out of the way. Get off the road. You're causing trouble. We've got lots of artillery, lots of people ready to do stuff. Good old Antietam, yes. I think there might be a game about Antietam as well. I'm sure there is, actually. I've played a few. Right, come on. Brigades are big and also block roads, so you have to be very careful with brigades. And here are the Royals. Made famous for a song. Probably the Blues and Royals. Right, you lot, keep going. Now, can I shell some Germans, please? Seemingly, I can't shell some Germans. Let's dig in then. I can't shell Germans because I already shelled Germans. You can only attack once a turn, and the turn has 3 phases. And the day has 3 turns. See, it's like the circle of life. So by the 25th, the Americans will hopefully be across the river. Because crossing a major river is not easy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think with McClellan was advised by the Pinkertons about the strength of General Lee, and was always expecting a trap. And he always acted based on the intelligence, as in Lee has. Unfortunately, was Lee has 3 times as many troops as we think he does, kind of thing. Oh, hello. So we can get onto the bridge, but not off it. We're now it's night time. We're still moving forwards. So I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit. I'll move on to the bridge. I can't go beyond the bridge. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can cross the bridge, maybe, with a bit of luck. Possibly. It's chancy. We might be able to do it, though. We're going to try anyway. You've got to be in it to win it. Get those tanks across the bridge. And then try and change. Hopefully we can change sides. Exactly. I think at this point Monty was under pressure from the government because Britain had basically running out of money and running out of men. And the idea was win the war quickly. Otherwise, Britain won't be a great power anymore. He was a mole, and also our finest field marshal. And that's why towards the end of the war, he was like, oh yeah, he was commanding land forces, but pushing the Americans forward a bit more, which apparently caused some upset. And after Market Garden failed, and it did fail, the armoured forces were fine, the airborne forces were still fine, but we had no reserves because we lost. Basically, we'd taken too many losses. So we're still doing stuff, but obviously, yeah, we're on our last legs. Also, our tank production was dropping because we were running out of resources. So this is nighttime, phase 1. And now I can move you forwards to here in range. You can shell the Germans. Now, can we get across this river? It's sneaky. It might work. We might get on the bridge and get stuck. Because if we get on the bridge, then it's like a shooting gallery. Oh, hello. We're on the bridge, then we've stopped. But we've got further forward. You sneak around the side. Yeah, that's the problem. And because it's a good idea, and they got up to Arnhem, but they couldn't cross the river. Therefore, well, you can't go anywhere. You can't cross the river. The river's too wide to cross. So you're stuck at that point. So now it's German phase 1. With a bit of luck, I get those tanks across the river. So that's a German reconnaissance unit attacking our paratroops. Yeah, Monty wanted to get to Berlin first. He had a plan to get to Berlin first, but it was a bit of a silly plan. Essentially, just go for Berlin first, like in a big straight line, ignoring your flanks and hope for the best. It's like, yeah, that's not. And Eisenhower said, you can't do that, Monty. No, can't do that. It's silly. But the idea was good. As in, it's a nice idea. So this is phase 2, which is infantry, with British infantry and parachute troops, of which we have some left. Just not many. So by doing here, we're hopefully going to trick them. And you also have the Polish troops, and they've retreated. They got badly damaged. They're going to dig in now. We are getting reinforcements, though. We're now attacking our German artillery. So this is American phase 2. So we can cross the river a little bit. That's our plan. Massive traffic jam in Grave. He's already retreated. Yep. We are just generally wandering around to the west of Arnhem at the moment, trying to lure the Germans out. We've got artillery though. We're going to shell these guys. And you're going to attack these guys from the rear. You can't... So we've retreated, so we can't attack that way again. But we can go further north, which is actually west, sorry. Further up the screen, which is west. Get off the road. Get off the road, you're causing a hold up. And we don't want to be holding Mr. Hold Up. There's a wall on. They did, yeah. And the trouble is, you can try and capture people, but they, unfortunately, people can retreat. And if you keep, also because if you keep the supplies evenly divided, everyone keeps pushing forward, which is good. But then you can't capture people because you're just moving forwards. The Soviets had the same problem when they realised actually no, we need to actually envelop people rather than just generally pushing them back. So that town there is Bagel. So we're doing all right. We're trying to very sneakily get across this bridge. The Germans haven't got many troops between Nijmegen and Arnhem. There are lots in Arnhem. Like the entire of Germany it seems to be in Arnhem. Oh hello! I've now got more German reinforcements back in. I should have been guarding the back. What can you do? That's lots and lots of artillery. And they're all dead now, all surrendered. And again, strong force here. We haven't got reinforcements coming from the 30th Corps. That's Gene Hackman. So we're keeping moving forwards. No, I'm actually retreat over the. No, can I do that? I retreated back over the bridge. I realised at the start of this stream that basically we had no chance of holding Arnhem, so everyone was pulled back to the south, and then the Germans followed us across the bridge, and then pretty much wiped us out, which was less than ideal. Less than ideal, shall we say? But it's got plenty of soldiers, but it's several rivers back. So this is lots and lots of troops. Now, can we? No, we can't. I said, can we shell the Germans? No, we can't shell the Germans. But we can get closer to them. I think that unit there was the problem. We have an infantry unit at the front of the convoy who only moves once a turn, not twice. It's scary, isn't it? Things move on. Things do move on. But plenty of tanks, though. Plenty of tanks. Here the Royals, all the way back. The scrolling is quite quick. These are tank destroyers who are very far away from any actual tanks. I think you should shell these guys first because they're very close to us, and you can then go and. You've already fired, maybe. You've already attacked. That's why. You can't attack twice. Now, can the tanks get across and deploy? Because we've got enough space across the bridge, if we're lucky, if we're very lucky, but they may not let us do it. We've definitely got some infantry there, which is good. You need to get the little tanks across. Then, because when they're small, you can't attack. But you have to be small to cross the bridge. And if you move next to an enemy, you automatically stop. We're hoping we can grind down this unit here, such that he retreats a bit, and then we can get our tanks out, and they can. It's very tricky. Because we've got plenty of American paratroops roaming around, and plenty of British troops, but too far away. Yeah, I don't think the glider balls are going to be very happy. But we have lured some of the Germans away. Now it's the 24th of September, which was yesterday. This is phase 1 of the British. We have to change size to cross the bridge. No, and unfortunately, that's also why the Allies limited the size of their tank. Like the Sherman tank was just down to logistics. You know, the tank can cross bridges. The tank. Right, can I change size? Yes, I can. It can cross bridges. You can fit that many on a railway thing, on a truck, on a crane. Whereas the big German tanks, well, yeah, that's fine, but you can't. They cross the bridges. You know, they were going to build the huge ones, and the huge ones were basically we had to cross rivers underwater, which is like, well, yeah, that's just silly, and it's all very much over-engineered. Now you keep travelling. You keep travelling, please. Keep pushing forward. This is phase 1. Phase 1 is motorised. We need reinforcements here at Nijmegen. There's someone in phase 2 who's British I need to keep an eye out for, because he's ruining my plans. Because he's at the front of that convoy and he's very, very slow. We've crossed this bridge here, and then the big bridge. But our goal here is these Germans. We have to get these Germans. And no other Germans. Oh, we've deployed. We've got tanks. We've got tanks across the river. We've got tanks across the first bit of the Rhine. This is excellent news. Excellent news. We've got tanks across the river. This is wheels. Does it make any noise? It doesn't make any noise. It's got a screw in it. That's for this thing. Look at that. Lots of artillery as well. That's what we want. Big guns, big tanks. Even they're not looking so clever now. They're not looking so clever now, then. Major rivers. No worries, Doc. Thank you for popping by. And you source of brain. It's Sunday evening, to be fair, so I'll play for a bit more than I'm going to. Hopefully, at least get to see Arnhem. Oh, it's a cat. She's not happy. But we definitely crossed the river, which is excellent. That's German phase 1 motorised, which is only their recce unit. And this motorised infantry who's lured out of Arnhem. That's phase 2, which is non-motorised. There's someone at the front of that convoy that I don't like. And they need to watch out for him. We've already attacked, so we're going to dig in now. Into the swamp. It's not Gene Hackman's lads, the Polish Parachute Brigade, who haven't attacked yet, and they're not going to either. They're going to just stay put. Now it's the Americans, who are now across the river. But they're going to defend their artillery. Might be a good idea. Let's go. Let's go running around the Dutch countryside. It's the big push now. It's the big push. We've managed to clear the log jam, so we can keep pushing forwards. These are parachute troops. The 101st Airborne, the Screaming Eagles. And trying to get them not hanging around the road, if possible. But these guys are nice and far back, so they're nice and safe. You're guarding Eindhoven, and some glider lads in the polder. So this is going up. We can't scroll the map though, which is a bit of a shame. You can give travel orders for several turns in advance, but normal orders you can only do one turn at a time, and it will try and track where your cursor goes, which is quite nice. So the German infantry in Nijmegen is also blocking the road. So we need to get rid of them as well, and keep an eye on the lads to the southeast as well. They can cause trouble if they keep moving. But hopefully the British tanks will get rid of that wrecker unit, and then we can clear out the Germans in Nijmegen. So the German phase 2 is infantry. They're attacking our artillery. This is a bad thing. But see how narrow the road is between the polders. You've got very narrow axis of advance. There's quite a strong German force there coming up from the Nijmegen heights. So when they captured Nijmegen, they focused first of all on capturing the heights and protecting those rather than going for the bridges. And they did get the bridges, but not immediately. Excellent. So now we need to you need to go down here. You're small. You need to be big and then attack. You're small. You need to be big and then attack. I can't even see where you are. You're on the road. You're fine. You can travel. You might go ahead south now. We were wandering around aimlessly. So the tanks are across the river. This is excellent. Something's flashing Lord. Kumbaya. I can't barely see it. Oh, it's on the road. They're on the road pushing forward. 24th. This is phase 3. The Welsh Guards are not doing so well. They're going to pull back. They've attacked. So they're going to pull back as well. You've already had orders. You've already attacked. You're going to pull back. You're going to change your orders to actually attack the Germans. Because they'll block the road otherwise. Because they're like that. The big meanies. We've got artillery 2 towns back, which is no good to man nor beast. To bring them forward. And shell you. Here's the Royals again, who did nothing all turn or game, but they guarded up because I was expecting more units to arrive from there, but they seem to focus up here, which is fine. You never know where they're going to show up. Nope. We've already attacked, so we're going to stay where we are. So we've now got tanks across the river. This is really good. So we're looking really good at Nijmegen. Arnhem's a lost cause. It's wall-to-wall Germans. But get rid of this bloke. Hopefully we will. And our tanks are across the river. At least we can wave. At least we can shoot at them across the river. This is good. Phase 3 now, which is the second German motorised phase. And we've got nothing around here. All the motorised stuff is on the north of the Rhine. It's the afternoon now. But we've now got tanks down here, which is good. So we can send our tanks down to attack. Very, very slowly. The Germans coming. You can see them. The little green squares with the cross in it are German units travelling on the road, and they're obviously coming to reinforce us or to attack us. We've got tanks now, so they're not going to be quite so happy. So these are the Welsh Guards who are retreating. We're going back to attack. You're already travelling. Now, how far can we shoot? Oh, look, we can easily get some of the Germans. We can shoot these guys, which is nice. The road is very narrow. Lots of artillery, it's what we like. Here are the Royals. So you can't tell them to go to sleep. Like, don't leave this unit alone unless something actually happens. They're all stuck crossing the bridge at the moment. Bombard. Who can we shell? I think we can shell these guys again. Because they could be panzers. They could very well be panzers. Oh, we got both of them. They're not going to like that at all. Or they could be motorised units, could be infantry, could be anything. But whatever it is, we know they're baddies. And we can't get across the Rhine unless we get control of the bridge. And they're going to do that either we shell the Germans until they all go away, or we send the paratroops back across the river and they clear Arnhem street by street, which isn't going to be nice either. All happening on this stream. I'll probably go to 8:30. I don't think we'll get to the end, which will be the 25th. You might do, you never know. I'll keep pushing forwards. So phase 1 is German motorised. They haven't got a lot of motorised stuff left, I don't think. Let's get on with it as far as we can. We've already attacked. Let's retreat. It's the Royals. So phase 2 is reconnaissance and non-motorised. Anything non-motorised. There's not much non-motorised left. There's these Polish lads who are half strength now. Most of their friends have died, unfortunately. So we're putting back. And that's the Americans. Who are doing okay. Because the Americans can actually cross the Rhine, unlike everyone else. We're doing this as a diversion to try and trick everybody. We send our artillery forward. Actually, I don't think we need to do that. So actually, we can just shell people. Ah, no, we're out of range. We're out of range, unfortunately. So we are going to send our artillery forward. There'll be a bit of a traffic jam, but we're going to try anyway. You get off the road. Then the British tanks can get in there. That's what we want. Skip. Fast as we can. Come on. Skip. If we're trying to push forward, you're going to stay where you are. Polder is very hard to move through, but we say they move about 2 spaces a turn. And that's that infantry, there's literally 2 spaces a turn. I think let's get the same for motorised. They can drive through it, but it's not easy. Then it's German phase 2, and there's a lot more in German phase 2 because they have a lot of infantry. So here we are. Let's speed up a little bit. Come on. Come on. Who do you think you're kidding? Come on. You can't make it scroll. There we are. They're attacking our tanks. But unfortunately, we have lots of tanks and lots of infantry now in Nijmegen. So I think Nijmegen's secure. So we're going to the big push. I'll keep going. They're all log jam now back here. Here we've got massive traffic jam again. Because somebody's not moving forward because I think we've got too many units stacked up. So get them off the road. Get them moving. There's these royals. We will never be royals, royals. We're in the 30th Corps. So the way numbers work, corps are always done in Roman numerals. Divisions are numbers, and armies are spelt out in letters. So the 30th Corps would be part of the 8th Army. So we also know, the 78th Division in the 30th Corps and the 8th Army, but all different styles of numbers. We're absolutely log jammed here. Right, I want you to travel now. Push yourself forward. Get our troops off this bridge. There we are, we've got a bit of space now. Now we're moving. Now we're moving, you see. That's why I need traffic. That's why traffic police is important. They have the thing called the red ball highway. The idea was this is important. Keep it moving. Don't faff around. It's a big thing. Patton was involved with. You stop. You go forward. So, keep the trucks moving. So we got rid of that bloke. It's going now. Now it's going quite well. A bit late for the paratroopers in Arnhem, who have all died or surrendered, but going well. At Nijmegen at last. More troops have showed up. German phase 3. This is motorised units, possibly a tank. Motorised infantry, who come up against the paratroopers in the woods. Night time. Get to attack again. What? So they're pushing forward now, the baddies, but we're pushing back as well. That's what we do. I don't like that, because I'll shell my own troops. I don't know if you can shell your own troops, but I prefer not to take the risk. Because it's not very nice. Half the problem is I'm trying to find where the flashing thing is. Where are we now? There it is, this tiny little thing. Change your orders. Change your size. And you advance. Because depending how big the artillery is, I think air landing is 6, set range of 6. I believe that self-propelled artillery has a range of 8, and either artillery or motorised artillery has a range of 12. So they got a good bit of coverage. Here are these royals. Come on, it's night time. Desperately keep pushing forward. We've got enough troops now. Enough tanks as well. Keep pushing them back. Win the war. Well, Monty was already a field marshal. He got promoted just because he was upset. He wasn't in charge of everything. But Eisenhower was good in charge because he was good at managing people. Because Patton and Monty didn't get on. There we go. Oh, see, nice clear road. He's small, takes double damage. Now it's German motorised stuff. He's now dug in. Those are American paratroops in the woods. Right, that's phase 2, which is again recce units and infantry. Which is, in our case, there's probably not many left. So I think there's only paratroops the British have left are this 3rd Battalion of the Polish Parachute Brigade. All the rest of them are gone. Whoops. But at least it makes the phase quicker. Now the Americans, who have lots and lots of paratroopers hanging about, because the middle bit went really well. The middle bit went superbly. It's just the end bit wasn't so good. We need these guys to cross the Rhine. Lots of them. We're not going to do it, but we're going to try. As the idea is there. Phase 2. There we go. So I couldn't get them further up to help at Arnhem because they had their jobs to do first. Now it's phase 2, so lots of Germans. They'll be travelling up, I expect. Here we go. But you can see now on the right, you've got the far side of the Rhine, is what we wanted. Right in my ear holes. Excellent. And now, you've already attacked. So you can stay put. You've already attacked, so you can pull back. You haven't attacked yet, so you can charge forward. Haha! You see, the system works. Change your orders, change your size, charge forward. So you can only attack once per turn, and there are 3 phases. Because we've outpaced our artillery again. Because this is self-propelled artillery, so it has a shorter range. And you've already attacked. Someone's flashing. I can't see who's flashing. Come on. Everyone's wandering around. Well, can we shell somebody now? Or are we out of range again? Excellent. Keep pushing forward. Here are the Royals. Come on. Get the 25th at least. So the Americans don't have a phase 3. The Germans do, the Americans don't. What was it happening? I'll find out when the scenario ends. I know it says 26 turns. Oh, the manual's up now, the proper manual. 26 turns. No, it doesn't say. Doesn't say. The 25th. Right, let's keep pushing. It can't be long now. It really can't be long now. So we're going to try and go as fast as we can. Henol's still here. I'm definitely still here. I'm going to keep pushing. I think it probably ends today. At some point. Someone's flashing. I can't. Oh, Dan, you are. Right. Got another traffic jam. But I think I'm in range of these boys. Got some German anti-tank guns now. Which, again, it's not very sporting. Lots of artillery all over the place. That's what we like. Change orders, change size, go down here, out the way. Here are these bloody Royals. So anyone's still watching, this is the coming up to the end of the complete Operation Market Garden scenario from Arnhem, the Market Garden operation by R.T. Smith, published by Katie's Computer Simulations on the ZX Spectrum. The aim of the game is to capture all the bridges across the Rhine, which are these big blue wobbly things. And by which point you do this, and then you can invade Germany and knock them out of the war. Capturing the bridges is quite easy. Holding them is another matter. You need to hold them while the British 30th Corps advances from the south through Eindhoven along the very, very long, narrow road. It's rather tricky to do. It's doable. I don't think I've done it in this case. I've got very close. I've got a strong force to the south of Arnhem. Unfortunately, there's a very strong German force across the Rhine to the north of Arnhem. And to the morning of the 25th, I think this is the end of the game. It will tell you the last turn, but only on the last turn. You can't make it go much faster. I'll have a cup of tea soon as well. Tea is good. A lovely day. It's been nice doing this. It's been educational, especially as I able to work out how the get the traffic jam system not broken. So they've got more reinforcements coming up the road. These are motorised troops. So you've cleared the first hurdle. Now you've got some more. Here are these royals. So phase 2 is Reconnaissance and the sole Polish parachute brigade, who can cross the Rhine, but we're not going to because they've all we've got left of those guys. Now it's the Americans, who can attack these guys on the road and do extra damage. Then cross the Rhine by boat. These guys are wandering around in the woods behind Arnhem. Just try and cause some disruption. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to use him as artillery. And I forgot. Because I'm an idiot. Never mind. These things happen. I think the trouble is I didn't use these guys enough. I had lots of them hanging around. And then they were in the wrong place. And I needed them further up and quicker. Maybe protecting the bit between, getting them into Eindhoven quicker. But what can you do? What can you do? You don't know when the Germans are going to turn up on the flanks, so you need to protect your flanks. Otherwise, the tanks can't cross the bridges. So I had a guy sitting in Eindhoven for about a week who's done nothing, but he could have been important. So it's American phase 2. Keep pushing, keep advancing. The art at the top left is mostly done by Midjourney, the AI bot, which is quite nice. So small units are travelling, therefore they can't attack and do double damage. Take double damage. So the Americans are a good blow there. Now it's the Germans who are trying to deploy and attack the tanks. Good luck. And obviously German artillery attacking the American paratroopers. It's getting quicker because all our units are in the same place now, pretty much. So I'll send these tanks now back across the way. Hello, Emprix. We're getting towards the end of Operation Market Garden. Hopefully at least, because some of my wife want to go to bed at some point. It is morning. It is on the 25th of September, and we are desperately trying. We've crossed part of the Rhine, which is good, but not both parts of the Rhine, which is not so good. And unfortunately, I've taken so long to get there that there is now a massive German force sitting in Arnhem across the bridge, which is a bit too far for me to cross. Which would be a good title for a film or a book. Something's flashing. Right, you skip orders. So it's a good system. It's a good system. You get artillery, you get tanks, you you get different units have different abilities. So some units are faster at moving, are better at fighting. Some units have bomb abilities. Some units are better at crossing tough terrain, etc., etc. So it's a bit of variety. And they're playing this now for 5 hours. 2 hours last weekend. And 3 hours tonight. Just it's been all go. The blue is rivers. The light blue is polder, which is like a sort of swampy land. Red is forests. It takes a while. There are this is the most advanced scenarios of the entire map, doing everything, which to be fair is a bit complex. But it starts out with small ones like, clear the road to Eindhoven. There's no paratroopers. Here's some tanks. Off you go, lads, sort of thing. And good old foot is always good. But you build up what you're doing. So it's nicely done. And there are 3 games in the series: Arnhem, Desert Rats, and then finally Vulcan. All of which are superb. We're now desperately trying to push forward, clear the road. This is not Nijmegen. The yellow units are British, the blue are American, the green are the Germans, who are facing the other way. We're at the far right-hand side of the map, between Nijmegen, which is the pink blobby bit there, you can see it emerging, and Arnhem is just to the right. That's the far end of the Rhine. So now phase 3. Each turn has 3 phases. There's the initial German tanks have shown up now. There's motorised, non-motorised, and then motorised again. Each day has 3 turns: morning, afternoon, and evening. And you can only attack once a turn. Even though the 3 phases, you only get to attack once. So I'm trying to get to the end of the game is my plan. I think it's a good plan. Just it'll tell me you've lost, mate. But you keep going till the end. And then we say we've done this. We've given it a go. We didn't win, but what have you done? What? He can't advance much further because there's a polder in the way. Polders are basically swampy land, so we can't. It's going to slow us down. Lots of soldiers hanging about in case the Germans attack again. We have artillery, which we're going to use to shell the Germans and the Americans. We have artillery that we're going to use to. We're going to cross the river. Rivers can only be crossed by bridges, especially major rivers, which are a bit more of a pain to cross. We're trying to move forward now, as far as we can. And I don't know if you can actually shell your own troops. I prefer not to, but it's a war after all. And there are enemy tanks hanging about, so I can definitely shell. There's a very narrow strip of land here between the two polders and the 2 bits of the ride. So you see a tiny little funnel. We've got tank destroyers, which will be great against tanks, except they're back here. And the tanks are over here somewhere. What can you do? Apart from shell some more tanks. Tanks are the memories, we like to say. So Arnhem is just to the right. If the map scrolls, I can't control scrolling the map. If the map scrolls a little bit to the right, which you might do it when you have combat, that's a bit more of Arnhem. See, that's the outskirts of Arnhem on this side of the bridge. Oh, it definitely does. Beyond that, it's the bridge, which is a bit too far. But I'm hoping that this big tank attack and lots of artillery is going to crack that tank unit out of our way. They did say the game might take about 8 hours, and I've been pushing forward and learning and chatting, but yes, we've got. Oh, I've got a subwoofer. So now the Germans are bringing up some more motorised troops. It's the bridge. It's the bridge. It's the bridge. It's the bridge. See the bridge on the right hand side? That's the bridge. That is the bridge at Arnhem. The John Frost Bridge, named after the bloke played by Anthony Hopkins in the film. Phase 2 is for reconnaissance units and anything not motorised, which we have some reconnaissance units and one Polish parachute battalion, who aren't in a good way, because they had a lot of heavy fighting. Americans have lots of paratroopers though. Lots and lots of paratroopers, unfortunately in the wrong place. And some glider troops, who again are hanging around Arnhem. Here though, we've got artillery, which is out of range, which is useless. This is air-dropped artillery, therefore it only has half the range. But that was Arnhem there, the town itself. So blue is Americans, yellow is British, and green are Germans, who are the baddies, in case you're wondering. Because World War II, they're the baddies. So the British tank starts out on the far left of the map, and you have to make your way all the way to the right of the map as fast as you possibly can. This is phase 2. This is... That was Grave. This was Nijmegen. Where the Rhine gets very big. The bridges here are in real life about 600 metres long. So very long bridges. But now we have American glider troops are attacking German artillery, which is good. And American paratroops are attacking German motorised infantry, also good. So we lured Germans up to the west. And now they're guarding the Rhine. Right, now it's phase 3. Tanks get to move again. If you're not already attacked, which these guys have, you can attack again. You can only attack once, so you've already attacked, so move out of the way. You've attacked, so move you back a little bit. Because I want to keep pushing forwards. Because you've not attacked yet. Unfortunately, you're stuck in a swamp. Which is a bit of a shame. Big old traffic jam. Everyone's waiting now, so I think we'll get towards the end of the game. Yeah, we try to cross the bridge, and there's a huge traffic jam across the bridge. Because the Germans are in the way. Which is very unsporting of them. There are these royals. Because the royals are a recce unit, they get to move three times in a turn. In both motorised phases and also in the non-motorised phase. It's a special feature of theirs. No, you can't blow up the bridges, unfortunately, which is good news for us, because otherwise the Germans would probably just blown up the bridge at Arnhem a while back. So yeah, the bridges can't be destroyed, which is a good thing. I've bought a game in Spectrum Wargaming where the aim of the game is to blow up a bridge. Which the allies are defending. This is the last turn. The night of the 25th. So let's try and push forward at least as far as we can. At least we know it's the last turn. So any unit far back we don't care about, because they're not going to make any bit of difference. However, artillery Might do. Lots of artillery has different ranges. He's already travelled. He don't care about you. You're the far side of the river, but you're still in range. That's the bridge. Here are these bloody royals. Bloody royals. They were guarding the flank at Eindhoven where nobody ever attacked, but they could have shown up. The big push. Oh. So 3 phases: motorised, non-motorised, motorised, and that's the end of the game. And we haven't won. Probably. I think to win, you have to have units. The road has to be clear all the way to Arnhem and across the bridge. And we've not quite got to the bridge yet. We might get close to the bridge, but also the Germans on the far side of the bridge, so that doesn't count. But we got rid of him though, so I move a little bit further forward. When it's phase 2, the American blue boys get to have a go. But here's the British first. None of these have anything to do. It's the American phase 2 we want. And you'll notice American when it goes blue. And these guys want you to attack. That is, I happen to know that's German artillery there. Everyone else, it's not going to matter because it was going to take them so long to get anywhere. However, these guys can definitely cause some trouble in Arnhem itself.